Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.
Hello! Good afternoon, evening, night, or morning, depending on where you are. Skyblaze here, and this is the Hidden Palace. Now, I hope everyone can hear me this time, because I know we were having issues with that last time. So let's hope it's actually connected. So, today I am going to be talking about bugs and glitches and other annoying fiddly things that happen in Sega games. For example, did you know that in Golden Axe it's possible to lure enemies into bottomless pits and off cliffs, since enemies will inevitably charge directly towards you and to their doom if there happens to be a bottomless pit in the way? It's pretty funny, and of course it's exploited heavily by speedrunners. I think that's absolutely hilarious. Right, just checking people can hear me, right? This is broadcasting. Okay, let's see. It seems to be working. Seems to think it's working, which is a good sign. Yeah, I should be connected to the right thing. Okay, let's proceed as if people can hear me. Another interesting piece of programming flaw is the twin boss on the 5th stage of the original Streets of Rage, which has a programming flaw meaning that they always follow you. It's therefore pretty easy to keep your back turned to them and just do your back attack throw thing whenever they get too close to you. You just keep spamming that and they inevitably die. It's hilarious. So, with that in mind, I think we should start off today with some music. And I think we should start off with some Golden Axe music, since I mentioned them already. So, let's proceed with the original Golden Axe. Actually, no, this is a remix. It's a remix from remix.kwed.org. And it's the remastered version of Golden Axe Wilderness. So, hope you enjoy that. Right, we're back. And that was Golden Axe Wilderness Remastered by the RKO Remix team. I can say words. Followed by Axel Streets of Rage Bare Knuckle Blitz by Will Rock from the Heroes and Villains OC Remix album. Right, now that we're back and up and running, for those who missed the start of the show, which I know is some of you because you have to refresh the stream, otherwise it doesn't work, because my software does not talk nicely to Icecast, which is really irritating. So, as I was saying, the reason why I was playing some Golden Axe stuff is because it's possible to lure enemies into bottomless pits and off cliffs, because inevitably will just charge directly towards you to their inevitable doom. It's pretty funny, and speedrunners use it a lot. I can confirm, I've personally tested this, Golden Axe 2, you can do it in there as well, which makes things quite easy and hilarious. Another interesting glitch you find in Eternal Champions. I don't know if it's a glitch so much of an exploit, because you're kind of exploiting the enemy AI. Because you can cheerfully spam Xavier's spinning staff move, and the enemy just can't figure out what the hell it's meant to do. It will either block continuously and then die to scratch damage, so you cherry tap it to death, because it's one of the few moves that will actually apply some minor damage to an enemy when they're blocking. Or they'll just blithely walk into the move and keep being repeatedly knocked down and lose a heck of a lot of health, which is straight up hilarious. Yeah, Eternal Champions, Sega's answer to Mortal Kombat, says Jamie, Mr. Wonderman. Kind of. It was a pretty bleak game in a lot of ways. The soundtrack was quite sad, and some of the stories were just soul-crushing. I've forgotten his name. Midnight? The vampire guy who was decaying because he refused to drink blood. Wow! Holy crap, guys. You know, for kids. Actually not sure what rating that has. I'll have to check that. But yeah, on that topic, I think we should have some more music. It was really gory on the CD version. It was in some places. It was. I haven't played the CD version for a really long time. I last played it when I used to live with the guy who owned it on the on CD. And when he could get his Mega CD to work, we used to play that among other things. Because he had the original Mega CD, which was occasionally a bit finickety. Later versions were a bit more stable, at least in my experience. But yeah, speaking of Eternal Champions and how sad it is, there's a really lovely OC remix which kind of exemplifies what I'm saying about Eternal Champions and the kind of bleak, sad mood that it has. So this is Eternal Champions Perpetual Motion OC remix by Zircon, and I hope you enjoy. And we are back again. That was Eternal Champions Perpetual Motion OC Remix by Zircon. I hope you all enjoyed that. To answer, I think it was Ravsig's question, that was from the character bio screen. It wasn't anybody's theme in particular, it's from the bio intro. But yeah, I've made the chat sad. I've made the chat really sad. Everyone was crying. I am a terrible, terrible person. So let's cheer everyone up by talking about something that everybody loves to rag on. Let's talk about Sonic 06, which is kind of a bunch of glitches that are vaguely strung together as a game, more than an actual game itself. I've heard rumours, I'm not convinced this is true, I've heard rumours that the entire testing team was fired before this game was released. I'm not convinced that's true. But there are some really interesting glitches that do exist in that game. One of the most useful is the glitch that allows you to bypass the fiddly and annoying ancient Egyptian billiard ball puzzles by using a crate, standing on top of it, and applying Silver's telekinesis to no-clip through a wall, which bypasses that entire puzzle, and you can just get straight by it. It's great. You can use similar tricks to skip town missions and go directly to action stages, because most of the town missions are incredibly boring and annoying. Some of the action stages are kind of annoying, but at least they're not boring. PT Kickass is saying that the game was so rushed that the devs ignored the bug reporting team. That's found in several places. Yes, that's true. Some glitches are found to be minor enough that they can't fix them in the given time, or they decide they're going to fix it on with a day one patch, or they say, look, we don't have time to fix this right now, or the glitches are so difficult to execute that they decide to leave them in the game. That wasn't really the case with 06 though. So swings and roundabouts, I guess. Because there's also the fact that the physics engine in general in 06 is so catastrophically broken that Sonic can calmly walk up vertical surfaces like the sides of running loops, and even stand upside down on the ceiling of a running loop. There's also the fact that the power gauge that Sonic has doesn't decrease, so you can basically do infinite boost or infinite special skills forever and ever, amen. Which does make some things easier, makes a lot of things a lot harder. They wanted to rush the Sonic... PC Kickass is also saying they wanted to rush the game for it to be in time for the birthday year. Yeah, they did. They also wanted it to be in time for the 15th anniversary. And the PC Kickass is also saying they're glad they learned their lesson, because Sonic Mania and Project Sonic 2017 isn't getting released until next year, which is not the anniversary year. But yeah, I entirely agree with PT Kickass. That's fair and fine and great, because it means they finally learned their lesson. Good on them. On that note, I think we should have a little bit more music to celebrate the fact that Sega has stopped being stupid, or being less stupid. So let's have some music from Sonic 06, because despite being a terrible game, it's got some really awesome music. So let's have some Dreams of an Absolution, because it's a great track, and Bentley Jones is the nicest guy in the world. So let's start off with the Dreams of an Absolution June Senaway mix by Lee Brotherton, aka Bentley Jones. Let's go.
what you dream. Know your triumph and all you'll ever be. Look around you, then you may realize happiness lies trapped in misery. And who knows what of our future? We can all try to change our past. Only you know if you'll be together tonight. Every night I will save your life, and every night I will be with you. 'Cause every night I still lay awake and I dream of a nice solution. 'Cause every night I will make it right, and every night I will come to you. But every night it just stays the same in my dream of a nice solution. Cause every night I will save your life, and every night I will be with you. 'Cause every night I still lay awake and I dream of a nice solution. 'Cause every night I will make it right, and every night I will come to you. But every night it just stays the same in my dream of a nice solution. And you'll see what you'll be. And you see all you can be. Oh, 'cause every night, and every night
And we are back again. That was Lee Brotherton, aka Bentley Jones' Dreams of an Absolution, the Jun Senraway mix, followed by Mariko Nanba and Tomoya Otani's Wave Ocean The Inlet from Sonic 06. Hope you enjoyed those. Right, Veritex on the Discord chat just asked a relevant question. What's the worst or biggest bug or glitch you've experienced in a Sega game? I'm interested to know what people's answers are to this. So if you want to tell me what the worst glitch or bug you've experienced in a Sega game is, tell me on the Discord chat or get in touch with me via Twitter. My Twitter handle is @BlazingSkies. Or you can get me through the Radio Sega Twitter. Music Clues is claiming that he's never had any glitches in his history as a gamer. I find that very hard to believe. You may have found one and not realised it, unless you're being sarcastic, which is possible. I also apologise if I'm less than coherent at all this evening. I have been suffering a migraine all day and I am hopped on painkillers right now. But I am a professional, goddammit. So let's proceed anyway. Mumba King in the Discord chat is saying that using the base power converter on one of his Mega Drives with Sonic 1 results in Sonic being teleported back to the start of the level and it being unplayable. But his other Mega Drive works fine. That is really weird. I've not come across that one personally, but I've not made extensive use of the power base converter. PT Kickass is saying he remembers battling Perfect Chaos and going through him, and then going into the dark world of Limbo. Do you mean you fell through the level, so you collision detection fail? Because I've seen that sort of thing happen. It tends to happen quite a lot in 3D games. Speaking of Dreamcast levels, let's talk about the Dreamcast for a bit, 'cause I like the Dreamcast, it is my fave. Speaking of Sonic Adventure and clipping and problems like that, it's possible to clip through various walls to get the Lightspeed Shoes and Crystal Ring before you even do the first action stage. It's also possible to use a similar trick. You kind of spin dash through various parts of various walls to allow... Well, it's not spin dash in that case, you get the idea. To allow Tails and Knuckles to play the Emerald Coast action stage. Although they can't actually complete it, they get stuck just after the bit with the big lighthouse. They get stuck on that bit and you can't actually finish it. You can use this to bypass various other areas, but it's not exactly a great idea because you can get stuck and you will be unable to proceed any further. Quick disclaimer, by the way, if you're planning on trialing any of the glitches I mentioned today, especially if you're using it on a cartridge game, I would recommend using it on an emulator, so load up a Raspberry Pi or whatever your favourite emulator is on your PC. Because some of these will actually damage your game, or can actually damage your game, so be really careful. In Shenmue, there's a glitch that allows you to skip the entire first disc. It involves a certain set of stairs and some fairly delicate placement of the character, which ends up with Ryo running in mid-air. You then head to the bakery and talk to a character, which will allow Ryo to go out of level bounds and walk around outside the level until you get to the bus station bit. There you get on the bus, and ta-da! Disc 1 has been entirely skipped. How bizarre. Jumping back to Sonic for a moment, there's a very nasty glitch in the Dreamcast versions of Sonic Adventure 2, where when you loaded into Cannon's Core as Eggman, the floor of the level would have no collision detection, which would cause you to fall to your death as soon as the level finished loading. The worst thing about this particular glitch is that if your copy of the game had this bug, there's no workaround, except buying another copy of the game and hoping it didn't come with that particular glitch. Wow. I actually know about this one in person because my original Dreamcast and my original copy of Sonic Adventure 2 actually had this particular glitch. I didn't discover it, a friend of mine did when they were playing through the game because I couldn't get that far in the game. I was quite young at the time. So an older friend of mine actually discovered that particular glitch. My current version of my current Dreamcast, my current version of Sonic Adventure 2, my signed copy of Sonic Adventure 2, doesn't have this glitch, which makes me happy. Right, so let's have some more music. I think we should have some more music. Since I mentioned Shenmue, let's have some Shenmue music. Let's have forklift racing for a laugh. So this is Shenmue 1 with the track Forklift Racing. And I'll see you after the break.
Mike Pollock, the voice of Dr. Eggman. And unless I'm mistaken, you're listening to Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.
Playing the best Sega music 24/7.
And we are back again. And my software is acting slightly odd. Never mind. Right, PT Kickass has loaded into the chat a video of him when he went so fast on Green Hill Classic in Sonic Generations that the geometry failed to load in the middle of the stage. I can't watch the video at the moment because I'm busy streaming, but I'm going to watch that later because that sounds brilliant. Sounds like it for some reason the loading just didn't trigger. Music Clues is also saying that on the PC version of Sonic Generations he got stuck in one of the walls somehow and didn't know how it happened. Again, that sounds like collision detection went a bit screwy somewhere. Which happens more often than you might think. Strangely enough, in Sonic 2 and 3, I think it's definitely in Sonic 3, I can't remember if it's in Sonic 2, it is possible to get stuck in various bits of scenery, particularly in Carnival Night. They even mentioned in the manual saying that it's a nefarious trap left by Robotnik for Sonic, which is kind of amusing. Also in Sonic 3, if you're going through Marble Garden Zone Act 2 as Super Sonic and manage to hit Robotnik 8 times before the boss battle officially begins, so when he's busy destroying all the areas with his giant drill, you'll crash the game. And in the same zone, it's possible to glitch Tails off the screen entirely, which presents a bit of a problem since you need Tails to fly you through the boss encounter at the end of the stage. Oops. Jamie Mr. Wonderman is saying, I've had Classic Sonic run underneath and upside down on one of the bridges in Generations version of Green Hill. That's pretty impressive. That sounds like some 06 physics managed to sneak into Generations. That's insane. That sounds like fun. It's a shame you didn't record it. Also, speaking of Carnival Night Zone, I have a question. Am I the only person in the entire world who didn't get stuck on those damned red and white barrels in Carnival Night? Because the guys on the other podcast I do, the Nerd to the Third Power podcast, all of them got stuck on that bit and I didn't. And my friends in my role-playing club all got stuck on that bit and I didn't. Possibly because of my habit of when I get stuck, I hit all the buttons, including up and down. So I must have figured out from there that, PT Kickass didn't get stuck on them. Oh, thank God. I am not the only one. I give you a virtual hug, PT Kickass. Because we're not the only ones. And I didn't use a guide either before anybody asked. I didn't use a guide. I also remember at Summer of Sonic where Yuji Naka was asked about those and he apologised for programming those barrels and he looked really embarrassed. It was really funny. You haven't played it, Mumbo King. You should fix that immediately. It's great. Yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is probably my favourite Sonic game ever. I love that game so much. So on that note, I think we should have some more music. Let's have some stuff from Sonic 3, I think. Let's have some stuff from Sonic 3. So this is, it's a remix of some stuff from Sonic 3. Because I mentioned Marble Garden Zone earlier. Let's have Daniel Baranowski's Knuckle Duster from OC Remix. I think this is from the Project Chaos album as well. So let's have that. See you after the break.
I've gotta know
Lightspeed.
Back again. That was what was it? Oh god, my brain really isn't working. Right, that was Daniel Baranowski's Knuffle Duster from Sonic 3 and Sonic Adventure Lightspeed OC Remix by Sir Nuts. Lightspeed is a mashup between Twinkle Park and Panic Puppet, and it sounds great. I really ought to do the Space Harrier Blake 7 theme mashup I keep promising to do. I've never done a mashup before. Not a proper one anyway. I've done mixtapes, which are not the same thing. Thank you people in the chat for being so nice about the fact that my brain is not firing on all thrusters today. So thank you for being super nice about it. Because I left my mic turned on, because I am crap. Right, nearly running out of show, so I'll just quickly do some more, talk about some more glitches. Similar to Sonic 06, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric on the Wii U is more a bunch of bugs, roughly masquerading as a game. You can do things like end up falling through the hub world if you accidentally grab hold of an invisible ledge that shouldn't be there. Or if you're facing an enemy that generates a force field that you have to beat the enemy in order to drop the force field, it's possible for you to die inside the force field and respawn outside of it, leaving you no way to defeat the enemy and therefore progress. Brilliant. Although probably the most infamous Boom glitch is the Knuckles infinite jump glitch, which allows Knuckles to jump practically into orbit if you continually pause and unpause while he's mid-jump. Needless to say that some players have found some fairly innovative uses for that particular bug. There are some brilliant videos on YouTube. I recommend checking it out if you haven't. Although the fact that the Sonic Boom cast in that game never shut up make it kind of annoying at times. What else should I talk about? Okay, let's talk about some Sonic 2. In Sonic 2 there's a couple of interesting palette glitches, including one that causes all of the flickies, little bird things that are blue, to appear gold if you're playing as Super Sonic because they share Sonic colour palette. This gets a reference in Sonic 3 and Knuckles if you get all the Super Emeralds and you play as Super Tails, because you get all the 4 little golden flickies that appear and orbit around you, and they attack things for you. But if you run out of rings and turn back into normal Tails, they'll turn blue before they fly away, which is a nice little reference. Also, the flickies are really cute. Also in Sonic 2, you can, if you activate the debug mode using the music commands, the code, you know the one, to activate the debug mode, you can do certain actions which will overwrite Sonic's colour palette and turn him green. I have been told that this was the basis for Scourge's coloration in the Archie comics. I've not had that confirmed. And I've been told that there's a similar glitch in Sonic and Knuckles that can cause Knuckles to become a kind of dark purple colour. I've not confirmed that one either. Jamie, Mr. Wonderman is saying Sonic 2, Metropolis Zone, Sonic 3 Ice Cap have level wrap glitches. Do you mean the ones where you can end up out of bounds on the level and it will catapult you to a different part of the level? Is that the ones you mean? Sorry, my brain is failing. My painkillers are wearing off. Running out of time on here, so I think I'll just talk about one more. In Initial D arcade stage, turning a corner at too high a speed or hitting a wall would cause you to naturally lose some acceleration. You'd expect that. But if you quickly let go of the accelerator, tap the brake, and quickly reapply the accelerator, that acceleration loss that would usually be applied is cancelled, which, appropriately enough, became known as the penalty cancel among fans of the game. So it's one of those exploitable glitches that some players love so much, particularly speedrunners. And this is not at all an excuse for me to play some cheesy Eurobeat music. No! Heaven forfend, why would I do such a terrible, terrible thing? Right, for the last song of the evening then. No One Sleeps in Tokyo by Ed Boys from the Initial D arcade stage. Thank you very much for listening tonight, and thank you for bearing with me while I am not feeling at my best. Hope to see you next time, and thank you all for listening, as I said. And let's have some Eurobeat to close out. I've been Skyblaze, this has been The Hidden Palace, and I'll see you next time.
3, 2, 1.
Enjoyed the show? Check out the full Radio Sega live schedule at radiose.ga/shows. Radio Sega, playing the best Sega music 24/7.